The Pokemon world is filled with mysteries, but the lack of military always stands out. No, the intro wasn't a spoiler. We will find out if there is a legit military or not in both Pokemon games and animes. Welcome to the first of my top 5 suggested theories. This theory was suggested by Cheesy Miner, and they said, "Hey Proto, I have a few theories. The first I've been bugging you with for a while, which is, does Pokemon have a government or an organized military? Why do bad guys in the Pokemon games always use a set type of Pokemon like normal, dark, or poison types? They steal Pokemon, so why can't they steal anything better than a Watchog? Besides the villainous teams, are there any other forms of organized crime? And most important, Qua. Thanks Proto, please consider these theories and keep up the good work." Well, I always agree with Qua. I hashtag it in Facebook and Twitter all the time. But I think the more curious question is the military versus organized crime theory. Now before everyone starts saying, "But Proto, Lt.Surge, but Proto, what about the wars?" I agree, and that is very true. Lt.Surge and the wars prove without a shadow of a doubt that there is some kind of military presence. But not only that, there are sailors and engineers too, personnel well known for being involved in the military. I have hit on this before, but I will say it again to refresh your memories. Lt.Surge wears BDUs. These are combat fatigues that stand for battle dressed uniform. Being a lieutenant means he was an officer. It's clear as day that there is some type of organized military, even though it's not often seen. Because the military is often missing or just busy or weak, this allows for organized criminals like Giovanni to rise up and rally the masses. It isn't too hard in a war-torn country to try and convince people with little to join an organization in exchange for money. That is basically how the military works, providing job, shelter, and food in exchange for service. In a country with few jobs and a terrible economic standing, a person would easily join Team Rocket. As for the stolen Pokemon, the grunts just get whatever they get. It's not necessarily a stolen Pokemon either. In the game corner, stolen Pokemon like Nidoran, Cubone, Porygon, Scyther, and Pinsir, as well as Dratini, are sold. It's not a matter of them being able to steal other Pokemon, but rather what they do with Pokemon once they're stolen. As for the teams themselves, many of them can be equated to insane cultists. While Team Rocket just wants money, the rest of them are more cult-like than anything else. So it's no wonder they only use certain types of Pokemon. They are insane anyways. Expanding the land, flooding the earth, destroying the world, and genocide even, makes them all pretty good candidates for insanity. But the fault again lies with the crumbling governments. After wars, the economy often falls rather than rises, due to the fact that the factory production lessening and military personnel returning home. And the defeated country always has it much harder than any other country. People in Kalos did state that they did win a war against their neighboring regions. So once again, this is why personnel would join these insane organizations, even if they disagreed with their beliefs. It's a job, it's food, it's shelter, basic human needs in a war-torn country. And in a war-torn country city, the most common Pokemon are poison and normal types, like Coughing and Grimer, or Rattata, Zubats, etc., etc. Now that we understand why or how these organizations exist, and what they do with their Pokemon, or how they get them, let's return to the military issue. I have already shown that there is a military presence in the games, albeit small. One other theory is that officers that are in the game are retired military personnel as well. Whatever the case may be, there are also military in the anime. In the banned episode Tentacle and Tentacruel, Nastina wears an urban uniform and even pulls out Uzis trying to kill the Pokemon that wrecked her resort. Now, if that isn't evidence enough, I mean, my god, guns and uniforms, she actually has a tank and fires it at the giant Tentacruel. That not only implies that the military exists, but that it is local enough to lend assistance when the cities are attacked by massive Pokemon. Guns exist, tanks exist, uniforms exist, which means the military exists. I suppose it doesn't make much sense with giant fire-breathing dragons and hyper beam shooting monsters, but if you take into consideration my theories on humans evolving from Pokemon, it would take more than a Pokemon's attack to kill a person. Let's recap. War breaks out, militaries fight, countries, economics die, war ends, the military returns, and there are no jobs. Criminal organizations rise, people need jobs, Pokemon get stolen. Seems about right, but then I am only slightly biased, being the writer of this theory. So there you have it, my first of my top 5 theories selected. We now know without a doubt that the military exists, even though they rarely ever show up to do anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go tell some of my stories of my army days. Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and comment below. Is this theory right? Do you believe it? Let me know in the section below. And make sure you check my playlist of theories to connect the dots if you missed some of my other theories. I am Protomario, and I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless. And now comes the all-important decision of supporting the Maverick Army. Join the Maverick Rebellion today. Subscribe and become a Maverick. We are a tight-knit community who desire to change the gaming stereotype into something better. Together, we will revolutionize the world of gaming and the way gaming is viewed on YouTube and across all platforms. Mavericks unite. Subscribe today and become a Maverick with us. I'm Protomario, and I approve this message. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.